Have you ever wondered why some women walk into any room and instantly command respect, while others seem to shrink into the background? The difference isn't about looks, money, or status. It's about something far more powerful that the ancient Stoics discovered over 2,000 years ago. Welcome to Imperial Mindset, where we unlock the queen energy within you using timeless wisdom adapted for the modern woman. Today, I'm going to share the 4 pillars of Stoic confidence that will transform how you show up in every area of your life. Let me tell you about Sarah. She was a brilliant marketing executive who would nail every presentation in practice, but the moment she stepped into the boardroom, her voice would shake and her ideas would get overshadowed by louder colleagues. Sound familiar? Sarah's problem wasn't lack of skill or intelligence. She was missing what the Stoics called the foundation of true power, inner sovereignty. Here's what most confidence advice gets wrong. It tells you to fake it until you make it, to put on a performance, to rely on external validation. But the Stoics understood something revolutionary. They knew that unshakable confidence comes from building an internal fortress that no external circumstance can penetrate. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful rulers in history, wrote in his personal journal that the universe is change, but our character is the only thing we can truly control. This isn't just philosophical theory. This is practical wisdom that transformed an ordinary man into an emperor whose influence still shapes the world today. The first pillar of Stoic confidence is accepting what you can and cannot control. Think about the last time you felt anxious or insecure. I bet you were focused on something outside your influence, someone else's opinion, a future outcome, circumstances beyond your reach. The moment you shift your energy from what you cannot control to what you can control, everything changes. Victoria learned this lesson the hard way. She spent years trying to please everyone at her corporate job, constantly worried about what her boss thought, whether her colleagues liked her, if she was being judged for speaking up. She was giving away her power to every person in that office. Then she discovered the Stoic principle and everything shifted. Instead of focusing on their reactions, she focused on her preparation, her communication, her values. Within 6 months, she was promoted to team lead. What can you control right now? Your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your daily habits, your mindset. That's where your power lives. Every morning, ask yourself this question that the Stoics used. What is within my control today and what is not? Then pour all your energy into your sphere of influence. The second pillar is developing emotional resilience through perspective. The Stoics had a powerful technique called the view from above. When faced with a challenge, they would imagine themselves looking down from a cosmic perspective, seeing how small their current problem really was in the grand scheme of things. Natalie was devastated when she didn't get the promotion she'd been working toward for 2 years. She felt like a failure, questioned her worth, considered changing careers entirely, but then she applied this Stoic technique. She realized that this setback was actually redirecting her towards something better. She started her own consulting business and within a year was earning more than that promotion would have paid. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. This doesn't mean minimizing your feelings or pretending problems don't matter. It means developing the emotional intelligence to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your identity. The Stoics believed that obstacles become the way forward when you change your perspective. Every setback you've experienced has taught you something valuable. Every rejection has made you stronger. Every challenge has revealed inner resources you didn't know you possessed. This is how you build unshakable confidence, by collecting evidence of your own resilience. The third pillar is cultivating inner dialogue mastery. Epictetus taught that we suffer not from events themselves but from our judgments about those events. Your confidence is directly connected to how you speak to yourself throughout the day. Lauren used to have a brutal inner critic. She would call herself stupid for making mistakes, ugly when she looked in the mirror, worthless when things didn't go perfectly. Her self-talk was destroying her confidence from within. Then she learned to become the observer of her thoughts rather than their victim. Here's the practice that changed everything for her. Every time she caught herself in negative self-talk, she would pause and ask, would I speak to my best friend this way? The answer was always no. So she started treating herself with the same kindness and encouragement she would give someone she loved. The Stoics understood that you become what you repeatedly tell yourself. If you constantly focus on your flaws, limitations, and failures, that becomes your reality. But if you train your mind to focus on your strengths, growth, and possibilities, you create a completely different experience of life. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue right now. Notice how you speak to yourself when you make a mistake, when you look in the mirror, when you face a challenge. Then consciously choose words that build you up rather than tear you down. This single shift will transform your confidence more than any external validation ever could. The fourth pillar is building character through consistent action. The Stoics believed that confidence isn't something you feel, it's something you build through repeated acts of courage. Every time you do what you said you would do, you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy. Every time you face a fear and move forward anyway, you expand your comfort zone. Samantha was terrified of public speaking but knew it was essential for her career growth. Instead of waiting until she felt confident, she started building confidence through action. She joined Toastmasters, volunteered for presentations at work, recorded herself practicing at home. Each small act of courage built upon the previous one until speaking in front of crowds became second nature. This is how you develop what the Stoics called virtuous character. Not through grand gestures or perfect performance, but through consistent small actions aligned with your values. When you keep promises to yourself, when you do hard things even when you don't feel like it, when you choose growth over comfort, you build unshakable self-trust. Your confidence grows every time you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life brings. Start with small challenges and work your way up. Join that fitness class you've been avoiding, have that difficult conversation you've been postponing, apply for that opportunity that scares you. Confidence is built in moments of decision, not moments of comfort. The Stoics also understood the power of morning practices. They would begin each day by preparing their minds for whatever challenges might arise. They would visualize potential obstacles and mentally rehearse how they would respond with wisdom and strength. Create your own morning confidence ritual. Spend 5 minutes visualizing yourself handling your day with grace and power. Remind yourself of your core values and commitment to growth. Set an intention to focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot. This simple practice will anchor you in confidence before the day even begins. Here's what happens when you apply these 4 pillars consistently. You stop seeking permission from others to be yourself. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You develop what the Stoics called an invincible summer within yourself, a core of warmth and strength that no external winter can touch. Remember, the goal isn't to become fearless. Fear is natural and often wise. The goal is to become someone who feels the fear and acts courageously anyway. The goal is to build such a strong sense of self that external circumstances cannot shake your fundamental confidence. The ancient Stoics faced wars, plagues, political upheaval, and personal losses that would devastate most people. Yet they maintained their composure, their purpose, and their power because they had built this internal fortress. You have access to the same tools, the same wisdom, the same potential for unshakable confidence. Your journey to lasting confidence starts with a single decision, the decision to stop looking outside yourself for validation and start building from within. The decision to focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot. The decision to speak to yourself with kindness rather than cruelty. The decision to build character through consistent action rather than waiting for confidence to magically appear. The world needs women who know their worth, who trust their judgment, who aren't afraid to take up space and share their gifts. The world needs your unique contribution, but first you must believe in it yourself. The Stoics gave us the roadmap. Now it's time for you to walk the path. So remember, Queens, true confidence comes from accepting what you can and cannot control, developing emotional resilience through perspective, mastering your inner dialogue, and building character through consistent action. These 4 pillars will create the unshakable foundation upon which your entire life can transform.